Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich Podcast. I have Dhana back with me, and he's got a couple of things he wants to talk to you guys about. He's been thinking about, and he's been wondering what could be the answers to these questions. And he thought it would be something interesting for all of you to also listen in as we discuss this. So, Dhana, what do you have for us to start with?
My age was 22, sir, right now. I
Hmm.
was started watching channel after my 20s, sir. So 2 years
Hmm.
only I was watching. From this 2 years, I have lots of knowledge about finance, sir. And then
Hmm.
having the savings discipline also. So
Okay.
in that saving disciplines and the financial subjects, sir, create a mindset of money. It will be different, sir. The thinking of
Hmm.
money mindset was looking completely different. So
Hmm.
if a parents will teach that its child from his childhood, like if they are in school standards, if they are teaching that student, so his child will be better in the future, sir. Like if one was teaching his child for financial subject and money, how it was work, another one was not teaching about them. They are not telling how the money was working and how hard it was when for the parents does not teach his child. It was a problem, sir, completely. It was my opinion. If two parents are there, one was teaching his son financial subject, another one was not teaching that. One was know about money how was operated, another child was not aware about how money was operated and how hard it was earned from the parents. So what will be the difference, sir, if in future, if the one has a knowledge of finance and money, another one not have the knowledge of finance and money, what will be his future, sir? So those comparisons.
Well, yours is a great problem and a great question to ask because simple reason is my brother and me are a great example of that. Anand,
Okay.
from a very young age, Anand was interested about money. He was interested about
Mm.
business. He was interested about finance, and from a very young age, he was learning all about that. And he was with my grandfather, was an auditor, who I've mentioned before. Used to hang out with him and learn a lot of things from him. Meanwhile, I was the other side. I did not
Mm.
learn about finance. I was not interested about money. I only liked spending money. I didn't care where money came from, where how money
Uh,
went, as long as I got things I wanted to get. But I'll tell you as a
so,
parent where the problem. Wait. I'll tell
mm.
you what the problem is.
Yes, sir. So my
This,
scenario was correctly suitable for you and your brother.
yeah, but I'll tell you something. This was not something my parents did. This
Okay.
happened purely by accident
Okay.
because my brother was left with my grandparents while I
Mm.
went off with my dad when he got his job in Saudi
Okay.
Arabia. I was just 6 months old, so I went off with him. Well, my brother was still 10 years old, and they didn't want to disrupt his education because in Saudi Arabia there was no schools back then in 1970s. So he was left here under the care of my grandparents to study and be there. And you know how it is when you're a child with your when
Mm.
you're with your grandparent, you think your grandfather is a great man.
Correct.
No matter what he is, your
Uh,
grandfather, if he's an auditor, he's a great man. If your
mm.
grandfather is, a tree climber, he's a great man. No matter what, as a child, you always look up to your grandparents. It's normal.
Mm.
So, because of that, my brother was very lucky that my grandfather was an auditor. He was
Mm.
interacting with a lot of the big business houses in Chennai and in India. He was their
Mm.
auditor and he was meeting them and rubbing shoulders with a lot of big people. And he was sitting there in my grandfather's lap listening to all this. So that influenced him. Meanwhile,
Mm.
I was in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, I did not have this kind of exposure. I was
Okay.
sitting at home, I would go to school, and my
Mm.
father was in office the entire time, in the factory the entire time. My mom at home, she was a stay at home mom, and my mom's influence on me was philosophy. I was very philosophical. If you notice me,
Okay.
the way I talk about philosophy,
Mm.
about life, my mom was a
Mm.
philosophy student. So that she influenced in me. So I am very philosophical compared to my brother,
Yes, sir.
which is very different from him. So this
Mm.
was not preordained. It's not like some effort put in by my parents to
Mm.
educate him and not educate me. It
Mm.
just happened so.
Mm.
So, but this is an interesting thing. The problem, I'll tell you what, as a parent. Now, as a parent, I can see
Mm.
this. My influence on my children are very limited because my children are not receptive to what I'm saying. Like, you don't think your father is a very smart man.
Okay.
All
Okay.
all kids grow like,
Mm.
especially sons. They think their grandfather is great. He's a very
Okay.
wise man. They'll think the cousins, uncles, everybody is very smart. But
Mm.
your own father, you won't think he's a very smart guy. You think he's a, when you, that happens when you become a teenager, it switches. There's a switch
Mm.
that turns on where your father, you don't think he doesn't know anything. He doesn't understand. My father doesn't understand. My father doesn't
Mm.
understand. The constant narrative in the child's mind is
Mm.
that. So, as a parent, that is very hard to overcome. I would love to sit down and teach my kids about finance, about money, how money
Mm.
comes. But it's very difficult because they don't listen to me. So, what do? I use my
Mm.
nephew, Shashwat. You met Shashwat.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so both my
Mm.
kids think Shashwat is a great guy.
Oh.
Okay, Shashwat thinks I'm a great guy. Okay, they think Shashwat's a great guy, but they think I'm an idiot. So it's really funny. So Shashwat sees this. He'll be sitting there. They'll tell me on my face, "You do not know anything. Shashwat only knows
Mm.
everything." And
I will
Shashwat will be
listen
looking at
Shashwat
me.
words.
Yeah, I'll only listen to Shashwat. And when they look at Shashwat, look at me like saying, "Mama, what is this? How can they say you know more than me?" I'll be like, "No, it's just a phase." So I'll
Mm.
tell him, "You teach them. It's okay." But you are absolutely right. The sooner you learn about money,
Mm.
how money comes, how money is made, the better for you because then you will understand how to control money.
Mm.
There's a problem. There's two ways people look at money. One, they think money is something very tough, very hard.
Mm.
So
Mm.
you should hold on to it and never let it go. Whatever little you get, it's not true.
Mm.
Money is not very hard. Money is not, if you know how money works,
Mm.
you can make money. It's like
Correct.
knowing cricket. You need to know how to bat. If you're scared of the cricket ball, the cork ball, you will never bat
Mm.
because you're
Correct.
always scared the ball is going to hit you and you're going to
Mm.
because you see lots of people getting hit on the face. So you're like,
Yes,
"Ayo,
yes.
I don't want to play." But if you know how to bat, how to hold it, how you can use the bat to stop the ball from hitting your face or your body, you learn
Mm.
to defend. The first thing you learn in cricket is to defend. The grip is
Correct.
important, and
Mm.
defending the ball is bat to ball is very important. Then you get to play, hit four and hit six. Then you learn that.
Mm.
But if you don't learn that and you try hitting, you'll get hurt.
Funny.
This is what happens with money also. So you have two schools of people. One who are parents who are very scared, who will keep telling their
Mm.
child, "Oh, you, money is very hard. You know,
Mm.
don't spend. You don't know how difficult money is. You must work very hard, so save it." No, that's not true. The other side is also not true that money is so easy, do whatever you want with it, who cares? YOLO. That is also
Mm.
not true. Like Buddha says, you must find a middle ground. You must,
Mm.
yes, money is hard, but at the same time, if you know how to make money grow, it grows.
Mm.
It's like
Yes,
if you
yes.
do not know farming, you do not know how to plant a tree and make the tree grow, mango tree grow and make fruits. But once
Mm.
you know how to plant mango
Mm.
tree, how to take care of the tree and keep it growing, within 5 years you'll start getting bearing fruits. Then you'll be like, I can make a whole plantation of this. It is
Mm.
not so hard. This is what children need to learn. They need to learn you should respect money. How money is made is should
Mm.
understand, and how money grows is also equally important. And spending should only happen once you make money grow. You should not eat the first fruit you get. You should
Mm.
learn to plant that fruit and make more trees.
Mm.
Then you have a huge forest full of trees. You have so
Mm.
much of fruit. Then you can start eating. But the first few years, you must learn to control your hunger,
Mm.
you know, and not
Correct. Correct.
keep on looking at your stomach and saying, "Oh, I'm so hungry, I'm so hungry." Starving a little bit is not going to kill you. But we are used to believing that if you starve, you're going to die. No, if as long as you have water, your body
Mm.
can go very far without water, without food, solids.
Yes,
But we
yes.
are led to believe thinking that we constantly need to put food in our mouth 3 times a day. Because our society is built on this capitalism, where you constantly need to keep spending, you constantly need to keep eating. If you don't eat and spend all the time, life will become boring and dull, and then you just die. It's not true. That is a problem we have now understood because my generation didn't realize that was a problem. We thought,
Mm.
hey, this is how life is. It's so wonderful. Keep eating all the time, keep spending all the time. Now we
Mm.
realize our mistake. So now we're trying to correct it in your generation where we
Correct.
spend a lot of time, effort, like Anand
Mm.
spends, I spend, trying to tell you guys, yo, listen, slow down. You don't
Mm.
need to eat all the time. You don't need to
Mm.
spend money all the time. It's okay to be bored. it is okay, Dana, to sit and do nothing for some time. It's not going to be, it's not going to destroy you if you do nothing for some time. But it's a very good point, what you brought. I agree with what you say. And my brother and me are fine examples of it, though it wasn't made like that. It just happened, life dealt us like that. And that's why you see my brother and me, we are from the same parents, the same everything. But because the environment we were brought up in was so different, me and my brother are very different. We are very different people. People who interact with my brother, who interact with me, like how you have, see how, yes, we look similar, but we talk very differently.
Yes, yes, sir.
So, what's the next question you have?
Yeah, correct point, sir. But you are using a tool of Shashwat to educate your child. But many of the people, many of the fathers, like your parents, they are not having the tool like Shashwat. Any neighborhood are not aware about the knowledge of like in finance and money. So the parents had to teach that children for the future. So for him, what advice you need to tell, sir?
Well, my advice to them would be find a trusted source you have. Like how you have tuition class, right? When you're a parent, you know that you can't spend time teaching English, you can't do maths. Immediately find one good tuition teacher. You will phone around and ask and find a good tuition teacher and put that tuition teacher for your child. Correct? Same way, you know that you cannot be sitting and teaching about finance because you're busy with your work and everything. Thanks to YouTube, thanks to social media, there are enough people,
Correct,
and
correct.
children nowadays love watching social media and being
YouTube,
influenced
YouTube.
by YouTube. So you need to find influencer of sorts who you believe in, who's talking the way you believe, who matches with your ideas of money. Then try and encourage your child to sit and watch it. Sitting and get together and watching, there's so many documentaries about money on YouTube, how money is made. So encourage them and sit and watch with them together. Watch two cartoons, watch two movies, then watch one documentary about money, how money is made. Then another great way is lots of books.
Okay.
So from simple level books, like where it's meant for kids who are below 10 years old, you know, and for kids who are older, there are books. If your kid is lucky, you made your kid into reading, there's so many books you can give them. They can start understanding about money. And one of the best ways to hook kids is kids always want things.
Correct.
And they always feel they have to fight with their parents to buy it. So by telling them that is a way that you can don't need your parents anymore to buy things, you show them that like that, they look like some kind of Aladdin's lamp, some magic genie lamp. Kids will immediately bite onto it. So there's ways to motivate the kids. But the problem is you also have to put effort into doing it.
Correct, correct, sir.
You have to carve time out in your day between your office, spending lovely time with your wife, and relaxing in the evenings, having a drink and watching TV, the match. You have to make time because this is an everyday effort. It is not something you just point at the road and say, go down this road, you'll find gold. Like how you cannot motivate yourself to do it, no kid will look at you and also feel motivated to do it. So you have to sit on a daily basis and make it a family event that you guys sit together and do this together. Like how you do everything, it's like eating meals together. You have to find ways to make it a daily activity and spend time doing it. If you do that, definitely there'll be lots of Warren Buffetts, like you were saying, we and you were discussing. India will be having plethora of people who are billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires here in India because Indian economy is growing at a rapid clip. If you make good investments and smart investments now, by the time your kid is turns my age, he'll be having so much of money he won't know what to do with it.
Correct, correct.
But my advice also would be, as you tell your kids to make money, also teach them to spread the wealth. You know,
Okay.
Making money is important. I do agree. But what I would like also to tell parents is teach your children to be generous with their money. You know, if you
Okay.
have made 10 crores and you know that you can't spend more than that, you don't need to make another 100 crores. You can take some of that money, like the Tatas do, create trust, find ways to, spend that money in small ways. You don't have to change the world or change India and all that. But at least, like you said, back in your village, you're able to build 5 houses. You become Warren Buffett. You're able to build 5 houses, or build one house for the elderly in your village, or dig 3 wells, or build one school and fund that school so that the school will keep going for 100 years with the money you made and you invested into a trust for that school. Those are ways you can give back to this world. And that, trust me, will leave a bigger footprint on the
Correct.
world, Dana, than all
Correct.
the money you made. Like all the chettiars which are remembered in India are remembered for their colleges, remembered for their schools,
Correct. Correct.
remembered for the hospitals.
Uh,
That's what they're remembered for. They're not remembered for being businessmen. No, most people don't even know what business the chettiar was doing. They'll say this school was built by a chettiar, that college was built by one chettiar. But what business was that man doing? How did he make his money? They won't know that. Applies. So that I would like also parents to teach their children is to give back to society, to give back to whomever they want. I'm not saying it has to be specific person or anything. Whatever they align with, and try to be good human beings at the end of the day is what I would say. Because some of it is important. Money is important. But what you do with money and what money can do, learn the strength of money is also important.
Correct, sir. So, from my understanding, those who are parents, you need to teach your child is an important thing. So, definitely you need to teach your child. If you not have the time, from like sir, I told YouTube channels, there are lots of YouTube channels are there, and give him a book and give him a surprise. Like if you finish this book, I will bought you to the hotels or something. I will buy you for any toys like this. Motivate children like this way also, so it will be a easier way to learn the finance topic. So in school days also, from already I told you sir, it was not covered in any topics. So school time it was not covered. So your child need to be, except from the school, your child need to learn this. So as sir told, follow that way, and then learn your children in your finance and money, how money was hard it made. So sir has told lots of things, so I think it will be helpful for you.
So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching us on this podcast. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you had a lovely weekend. Those of you who are enjoying your weekend. And me and Dana will come next weekend. We'll something new, something informative, hopefully, and educational. Thank you, and
Thank
see you
you.
in the next one.
Thank you, sir.